Hello and welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I am Christine, your host, and today we are going to talk about not cooking. Lots of my episodes have to do with cooking and making sure that you have sufficient protein and fat and vegetables and all, but some of you don't like to cook, and I've heard you. How can you meet your goals without cooking and without making it difficult? Now, one of the things that we have talked about is having the same meal every day for a little while. But if cooking is absolutely not your jam, you can still get your goals. So today for breakfast, we're gonna start out with our 5% milk fat. And I don't want you to have the fat-free stuff. It's just junk. So we need fat to help our brain. And so we're gonna go with the 5%. And we are not having sugar, so we're going to just add a little bit of zest for some extra flavor. So I'm using an orange. We're just gonna get that zest right in there. A zester makes this process very easy, but if you don't have a zester, you can use a peeler. Just make sure that you're not getting that white pithy part or it will be a little bit bitter. That's just gonna give it a little bit of extra zing. You gotta tap that off there. So now you can see my yogurt with my zest, and we're gonna get some blueberries. The great thing about berries is they are good in the glycemic index. So they're not gonna spike our insulin level, and they have a lot of good properties. And they help keep us regular. Always a good thing when we get older. So this is how I like to have it. I don't usually add any kind of sweetener at all, but if I were to need it, then my sweetener of choice is either monk fruit or stevia or allulose. Allulose is my favorite because it tastes the most like sugar, but without being super duper sweet. So a little tablespoon goes a long way, and this is what we do. So one serving is 15 grams of protein. So if you're having 2 servings, you hit your 30 grams of protein, not a problem. Let's say you're not all about Greek yogurt. What could be a good substitute? Many people are like, I don't like Greek yogurt. What about cottage cheese? You could do the same thing with cottage cheese. So you could have 2 of these. Let's see how many grams of protein are in here. We are looking at 13 grams of protein for one. And we would have 2 of those. So again, we're about 30 grams of protein. Now, if you're okay cooking a little bit and you want to cook ahead, you can make some hard-boiled eggs. I highly recommend getting an egg cooker because you just set it and forget it and it's done. It's so easy. Or you can go with the Instant Pot method, and there's lots of different ways to prepare ahead of time. But if you don't like cooking, this is a good way to go. In addition, you could do cottage cheese toast, there's avocado toast, there's all kinds of things. So minimal effort, easy breezy. And you can make a big batch of this ahead of time and park it in your refrigerator and just scoop it out every day. Great things like chia pudding. All chia pudding in is you're going to take your almond milk unsweetened or your soy milk or whatever you like. I tend to stay away from soy, but almond milk is my choice. And then I add my chia seeds to that. And then I add, again, the zest and a little bit of maybe vanilla extract. Mix it all up, and then I add my berries the next day once it's thickened. So lots of different options for no-cook breakfast. We're gonna come back and do no-cook lunch. Let's do some easy breezy lunches. Okay, we're not cooking, right? So we're gonna use some tuna. This one I like the best. It's in the package. You can do skipjack tuna, you could use whatever. But this one I like white tuna, and this one has 17 grams per package. We're going to use 2 packs, so we are getting our 30 to 50 grams of protein easily. All right, so we're just gonna snip this open, show you how easy this is. The hardest part is getting it out of the package, so we're just gonna shake it out. And I'm leaving some of the juices in there. And then we have some choices. What are we gonna bind it with? So if you're okay with the extra step, sometimes I puree my cottage cheese and mix it with that, so we get extra boost of protein. But today we're gonna keep it super simple. We're just gonna use maybe a tablespoon of Duke's mayo, so not a lot. If you've been with me for a while, I also make my own mayos, but we're going for easy, right? We're gonna give it just a squirt. I like lime, lemon, whatever, just a little bit of juice in there. And then we're gonna add some dill. If you have fresh dill, that's even better. Just toss that right in there. And we're just gonna mix that up. And you could eat it just like this, but I don't really like to eat it with a spoon. So what I do is I take a slice, let's get a knife, this usually helps. I take a slice of my pepper. And I add my tuna, just like so. And I top it. And then I have my tuna sandwich. Now, sometimes I add cheese on there. Sometimes I get wild and crazy and I add other things to it, like onion and celery. But if I'm really trying to make it quick, this is what I do. Just super easy. And you can make it ahead of time, right? This is things that you can make and have in your refrigerator. You just take a plate, you line them all up, and you grab them when you need them. So instead of making nutrition super complicated, we're trying to make it super easy. So you can stick with it no matter what you're doing. All right, let's make some roll-ups. So on a reel, I had made some roast beef roll-ups. I used deli roast beef, and I used some cream cheese, and I make a whole bunch of these and put them on a plate and put them in my refrigerator so that when I'm ready to eat, I don't have to think about it. I just eat it. All right, so we're gonna just take these little pieces of salami, and you're gonna need a few because you wanna have some bulk to it. And then we're gonna take a spoon and we're gonna take some whole milk ricotta cheese and just take a dab of it. You could use cream cheese, you can use mascarpone, whatever you like. But you wanna have that good healthy fat in there and then roll it up. If you are not a cheese eater, no big deal. You can just roll up your salami just as it is and just eat the salami roll-ups or your, whatever you're having, your roast beef, your turkey, whatever. Now, do try to buy the best quality cold cuts you can. Or make your own roast and shave it nice and thin. All of that is great. But if you're not a cook, then this is the way to go. So right here, and I always get my Italian cold cuts. So I like to have the high quality stuff. So when I buy the kind that you slice yourself, I make sure it's the least amount of junk in there. So we can control. All right, let's talk about dinners. What can we do for dinner that we don't? Okay, so one of my favorite no-cook dinners is charcuterie boards. The thing about it is you have to have a lot of variety. So this is the start of it. I did this part off camera because you don't want to see me chopping everything all the time. But on here, I have dill pickles. I have dill pickles at least once a day. I have terrible leg cramps and the dill pickles help a lot. There's a lot of electrolytes and good stuff in them, and so that really helps me. I've got some sliced yellow peppers. This is a blueberry goat cheese. It's super good. Over here, I have some prosciutto. I'm gonna show you how to do those. I've got some mixed nuts, some fresh basil, some brie, some Parmigiano Reggiano, and some olives. Okay, so we're gonna continue on. I usually take a sheet of my Parmigiano Reggiano, or of my, prosciutto di Parma, and I'm gonna roll it. And you don't have to do it perfectly, you're just gonna roll. And then you're just gonna place it in here like a little flower. And it's sticky, so it sticks nicely. We're gonna do the same thing with our salami Milano. So first I fold it in half, and then I just take and make a little triangle, and I'm gonna just go around. Beautiful food tastes better. I don't care what it is, it just tastes better. So I've got these really nice avocado, because again, we want some healthy fats in there. And you can eat it plain, or you can have it, I'm just gonna slice it up and then get it out of there. Or you can wrap it in the meat, and there's lots of different ways you can do it. We're just gonna flip that right over. Make sure we get all our slices out of there. And if it's being difficult, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. But I always slice it right before I eat it. Although I love lime and I love lemon, I just love the taste of the avocado by itself. So we're just gonna put that in there. You can do it neater than I just did. I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of sea salt, just for that extra punch of flavor. So we've got our creamy, we've got our firm cheese, we've got the goat cheese with a little bit of tang and the blueberries. We have our salt from our nuts, we have our olives that are tangy, we have our dill pickles, we have a nice pungent flavor. So we have all different ones. And now I'm gonna add some berries. So I've got my blueberries that I'll put right by my blueberry goat cheese. I've got some beautiful raspberries. I'm gonna tuck right in here. I want you to think about eating the rainbow. So lots of different colors, lots of different textures. And I went out with a girlfriend the other night and I got a charcuterie board for 2 of us. It was 4 meats and 3 cheeses, and it had very little else on it, and it was $28. And you can do it for for much cheaper than that and really enjoy the creative process. Because half of the fun of eating all this is just putting it all together. Now, let's say you needed to have more protein than what's on here. No sweat. I don't want to cook. I can pick up a rotisserie chicken, and we're just going to lop off a piece of that rotisserie chicken and add that to our board. So I'm just going to cut in here, right near the chicken breast. And you can choose skin on, skin off, however you want to do it. I'm just going to keep that skin on so I've got a little bit of color, and I'm just going to place that on one side and then a piece on the other side. If you're not a chicken eater, you can choose what you like to do. We're just going to tuck that in over here. There we go. And then I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add some fresh mozzarella. Now, sometimes I like to make my cheese, but again, if we're concentrating on not cooking, so we're going to just add the things that we can purchase already done for us. But that we're still getting plenty of good protein and lots of healthy fats. And we've got some veg in there, so we're good. We're just going to tuck that in there. All right. And then you make sure that if you need salt and pepper or anything, that you absolutely do that. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. All right, we've got all of our cheese selections here. We've got our fresh mozzarella, our Parmesan, our fresh avocado, our olives, our raspberries, our brie, our little salami roses, and our prosciutto roses, and then our fresh chicken, and our goat cheese with blueberries, along with fresh blueberries and blackberries, pickles, and some yellow peppers. And you might think, well, these are a lot of different flavors, but that, my friends, is the fun of it. You can add all different flavors and contrast so that when you're done, you really feel satisfied and full. So what I serve with this, I usually have some either bubbly water with lime or some club soda with lime, just to make it feel like, and I put it in a pretty wine glass, and I just feel like it's on a vacation. It's perfect. So I hope that you'll try this. I mean, there's any number of ways you can do this. You can do grilled vegetables on there. You can have, again, we're trying to stay away from sugar, but you can do some sugar-free preserves. So there's lots of different ways you can mix it up. I hope this just gives you some ideas. Now, one last thing we're gonna do, we're going to make a quick no-bake dessert. So I'll be right back with that. In the bowl, I have half a block or 4 ounces of cream cheese that I microwave for 30 seconds just to soften it. That is the easiest way to get your cream cheese to soften quickly. And onto that, I'm adding 1/4 cup of no sugar peanut butter. And I lined it with plastic wrap so that I can just tap it out and not have to try and clean it out of my measuring cup. Because let me tell you, that stuff sticks on there like nobody's business. All right. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of allulose sweetener, or your sweetener of choice. We use stevia, or we use monk fruit, or allulose. All right, we're just going to combine those 2 things until it's nice and smooth. 3 things. I can count, I swear. And it should start to thicken up. Perfect, that's what we're looking for. It should look rather crumbly, like this. Then we're gonna scrape it down. I'm gonna get a scooper. All right, got a scraper. And we're just gonna mix it around, making sure that we get all the sides and that it comes together in the center like this. Then we're gonna take our little scoop and we're just gonna make little balls. And when these balls get cold, we can melt some sugar-free chocolate and coat them with that, or we can eat them as is, or at this point you could add some sugar-free chocolate chips in here. I just actually like them plain, but my husband's a chocoholic, so he likes it with the chocolate. So we'll go ahead and we'll just, so you can just see, they come out like little balls. And then we put them in the refrigerator and we get some nice balls like this. And then you go like this. And it just has a little bit of sweetness and great creaminess. So I feel like I'm getting dessert without all the work, right? We didn't cook anything. We just popped it in the refrigerator, and I limit myself to one a day, one every other day, whatever. But then I have something available to me that has a little bit of sweetness, and it just kills that sweet tooth, and I'm good for the rest of the time. So my ask of you is, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. please leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, all of that good stuff, because that helps us spread the message. And if you really love the episode, please share it, because that super helps us. Anywho, I hope you have a great time. I hope you make all these recipes or lack of cooking recipes. And then I would love to hear back from you. I would love to hear what you'd like more of or what you like less of. Do you enjoy when we have guests? Do you prefer when we do this? You just let me know, because I am here for you. All right, my loves, I pray for each and every one of you. I hope you have a great weekend. Sending you lots of love. Take care.